typically record these videos several times before getting them close to what I wanted. They're never perfect. These aren't polished videos. I'm trying to communicate with you as clearly, concisely, and completely as possible, so I try to teach you more than just one thing at a time. Now, this video, for all its flaws, is okay. This video, however, is a problem. And as far as learning from your mistakes go, this has to be deleted and replaced. And that's why it looks different, or it looked different before you started playing this. Because I'm throwing it away and doing it again. So, you know that in the menu, we're seeing the active application right there. If I ask you to switch to the Finder, I can use Command-Tab and do it efficiently, but at this point, maybe the best thing to do is for me to come down to my dock to make the Finder pop up. For you, the far left icon, this little smiley face, is the Finder. It's always running on the Mac. And the Finder literally is where you find your files. That's why it's named that way. Now, when you click on it, it opens up a new Finder window. If I ever tell you to open up a second Finder window, clicking on it a second time does not open up another window. So the benefit of clicking on the Finder in the dock is, hey, it opens up a new Finder window for you. But what if you weren't interested in having a window open, which in that case you would click the little red button, or if you want to start learning keyboard shortcuts, Command W. And then for this video, we're in the Finder Preferences. So on a Mac, the active application is where preferences are found. So if we were in Photoshop, preferences would be in this list. Same for Illustrator or Safari or whatever. And this shortcut's the same. For right now, we won't try to learn a new shortcut, but just open up the Finder Preferences. And up top are the different tabs or channels for the different preferences. Let's start with General. Go ahead if you're not in General. And by the way, if you haven't opened this up, if you're just watching, stop. Pause the video and go up to the Finder and click on Preferences. Open this up. All right, under the General tab, make sure everything's deselected. Now, I know if you're a Mac user, you probably are used to having the hard drive sitting right up here in the upper right-hand corner. If you're a Windows user, you're used to having all kinds of stuff on your desktop. We're going to preserve the desktop for showing off your work. And we're going to use that. And I don't want files or hard drives or anything to be in the way. Okay, so that's why we make these settings. And new Finder window, by default, this is set to all my files. Or at least that's how it was. Remember, OSs change, interfaces change, we adapt and roll with it. So make sure the new Finder windows open up with your home directory so that when you, and don't have that selected, tabs are great, but for right now, we're going to use two Finder windows sometimes, and tabs can get confusing. So for right now, under General, you have the new Finder window, has your home directory. So you have no Finder window open. If you have one open, close it, because if it's open, you can't get a new Finder window by clicking on this icon. And your sidebar, this is sidebar, looks different than mine. That's okay. I'll show you how to customize this later. But what should happen is your home directory will be highlighted. Now, as far as what your home directory looks like, I don't know if you're in icon view, list view, column view, or cover flow. And I switch through those with Command 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of kids like cover flow. Ooh, so pretty. It's not really as useful as the others. For right now, I would like you to be in column view, just so we're on the same page. So we're in the Finder, the column view's here, and there's reasons for it, but I'm not going to bore you with all those details. For now, just trust me. There's a time for icons, and there's a time for list view. Let's get back to all our files so that we can see, hey, if I want to sort by the date modified, I'm going into list view, even though there's an option for sorting in every single one of them under the view menu. For right now, for simplicity's sake, make sure that column view is selected and there's your home directory. And then if we close that or hit Command W, red button, another way to open up a Finder window or a new whatever in whatever application you're in, File New, Command N. In the Finder, it gives you a new Finder window. If you choose it again or hit Command N, you get a second new Finder window. I'm going to close that. So for right now, you got that, right? New Finder window, Command N or File, new Finder window. Because you're going to be opening these up all the time. Now, the rest of the preferences. Don't worry about tags. We'll get to that later. They're more useful when you have lots and lots and lots of files. For the sidebar, make sure everything's turned on. And again, if you're not playing along, stop the video, open up the Finder preferences, and come over here. Now, down here where it says hard disks, this by default, well, it did last year. Who knows this year with the latest update? Had a dash right here, which means something's on, something's off. Just go ahead and click it again so that it's on. Turn all these on, even though we're not really going to use the music folder because we're going to stream music. If you earn the perk and choose to use that one, that option at week 6. But for right now, all those are on. Last but not least, under the Advanced tab, yours may look different than mine depending on whether or not you're logged into your iCloud drive. What I want you to have on, the only one that's really important, is show warning before changing an extension. Because I don't want you changing an extension. And if you don't know what an extension is, that's just fine. Leave this warning on. By default, show warning before emptying the trash is on. Are you kidding me? When you take out the trash out to the garbage can, do you look through it before you toss it in the trash? Aren't you pretty sure that anything you put in the trash can you didn't want? This is just an extra step we shouldn't have to deal with. Macs are designed for the lowest common denominator. I mean, by default, right-click is off. That's ridiculous. And I'll show you how to turn that on. But for right now, that's the only one that really is important. Make sure that's on. Okay? Got it? There's General. There's your sidebar. And there's Advanced. That's the Finder preferences. Thank you very much.